We often talk about resilience on this show, bouncing back from setbacks.
Right.
But today's deep dive, it hits a little different.
Uh-huh.
We're celebrating a life, Tylee Craft. And yeah, it's about resilience for sure, but it's also about impact, about sportsmanship, about squeezing every ounce out of the time you're given. And we're diving into this with Heather Dinich's piece over at ESPN. Really paints a powerful picture of who Tylee was.
Yeah, and it's one thing to just talk about being strong, in the abstract.
Right.
But Tylee's story, it really offers a roadmap. Like, these aren't just platitudes. He lived this stuff.
Exactly. So for those who haven't heard of Tylee, he is a 23-year-old receiver at UNC, incredible athlete. But at 22, he gets hit with this, just devastating diagnosis, stage 4 lung cancer.
And not to get too in the weeds medically, but
Please, yeah.
this wasn't just any lung cancer. Large cell neuroendocrine carcinoma, it's notoriously aggressive. We're talking, the odds were really, really stacked against him.
Yeah, in the ESPN article, it mentions how doctors initially gave him weeks to live. I mean, just imagine hearing that at 22. It's unfathomable.
Absolutely. And this is where Tylee's story takes that turn, right? It could have ended tragically, but instead he turns it into this incredible testament to the human spirit.
Because he lived for another 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
But it's not just about surviving, is it? It's what he did with that time. Reading about how he finished his bachelor's degree, even enrolled in a master's program while undergoing treatment. I mean, come on.
And that's, to me, the biggest takeaway for our listeners. A lot of us, when faced with hardship, we kind of retreat inwards, right? But Tylee, he almost went the opposite direction. The academic pursuits, his engagement with the community, the Tylee Strong movement.
Oh, yeah, the ESPN article, they talked about Tylee Strong. It was everywhere at UNC.
It went beyond a hashtag. It became this rallying cry because people saw his fight, his determination to keep living, keep learning, keep contributing. It transcended sports. It was about the human spirit. And it wasn't just contained to UNC either, right? Like the Disney Spirit Award. That's huge. And that's not an athletic award. It's about his character, his impact.
Absolutely. And it underscores something really important. It wasn't just about him playing football with cancer. It was about how he lived his life despite it. And that's a powerful example for anyone, athlete or not, facing their own battles.
And it wasn't like he was doing this alone. The article mentioned his teammate, J.J. Jones, wearing Tylee's number 13, scoring that touchdown. Like you could just feel the emotion, the bond they had.
That's what it's all about, right? Those connections, the support system. Tylee's journey, it resonated so deeply because it reminded people of the power of community, of shared experiences.
Okay, so we've covered the what. We know Tylee's story is incredible, but let's bring it home for our listeners. What can we, those of us listening right now, actually do with this information?
That's the key question, right? It's about reframing how we view our own challenges. Because Tylee didn't sit there and ask, why me? It was more like, okay, this is happening, now what? His focus wasn't on beating cancer, it was on living fully, meaningfully, in spite of it.
So it's like finding that purpose even in the midst of hardship, not letting it define you.
Exactly. And remembering that none of us go through this alone. Look at the outpouring of support for Tylee. It's a reminder that even small acts of kindness, of generosity, of perseverance, they can have a ripple effect.
It's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, right, what can we each do today in our own lives to be a little more Tylee strong? It might not be a grand gesture, but maybe, just maybe, it'll make someone's day a little brighter. Maybe it'll help us find our own strength in the face of whatever life throws our way.
It's worth reflecting on, that's for sure.